Hey, I'm here. See, that's my hands. How you doing? Good, good. I'm all right. Turn it down a bit. No painting this week. We have a collaboration lined up, but we're not doing it today. Maybe in another 2 weeks we will. So today, which may be even more exciting than me drawing, I'm going to show you the book that Looby came from. The original book. So as you know, when my son was 5, he drew this. And this is my to-do book. And I said to him, draw all over it, scribble, make little characters. So we did. And then I would make them more dimensional with like a big biro and give the character friends, have them talking to each other, and give them backgrounds. And this is what we started with. And now, you know, little innocent Looby, slightly a bit more corrupt here. And then, you know, as we know, Looby's full nice guy, but he's a bad boy. So I'll start at the front. So this is the cover, and my son would have, I love his logos, so he would have just done a really quick kind of like, you know, kiddies kind of version of the word book, and then I went in with shadows and made it more dimensional, and you know, went into his characters and made them, you know, more rounded. And then he wrote here, stop looking at the cover and turn the page, which is cute. So you get 2 covers. Here's the inside cover with his logo again, lovely logo. So he drew this big head and the body, and then I put in the background and coloured it, painted it. Some notes. Don't know what that's about. More notes. There's a little sketch of Liam Gallagher there. So we get to this page, which I like the silver one very much. So this is kind of very honest to his drawing. Didn't do much to it at all, apart from paint the background silver and put some ghosts in, and then there's some of my calculations just kind of like made into speech bubbles. And he's saying he's lost control again, which is a Joy Division reference. And I think he's talking about these guys here. Down here is a cute little one that my son did, that I haven't touched because it's so perfect. Mother, it's saying, and on his t-shirt says school. Cute. And he's looking at this, you know, maybe he's asking which one's his mother. More ghosts there, and this was fun to draw in this book. I mean, it really need to kind of like start doing it again. And I started enjoying drawing again with real pen, like I did with Looby, that I got a bit carried away. And there was one point I couldn't get him to scribble enough, but here's another version of Looby, I guess, with some robots and things. They're pretty mental. I think if a therapist looked through this, they would have me locked up. This is a picture he did of Batman, and I'm not sure who that is. Can't remember. Anyway, so then I put a background in here, shoe store, deli, and he is saying, this is getting old. Oh yeah, that's the Joker. And Batman's basically saying, it's getting old. You know, the two of them fighting. note there to talk to Dieter Von Teese, who I did a screen print. How about that? There's a little one here saying, someone's knocking at the door saying, FBI open up. Oh, hey, FBI, open up. Bam, bam. And then some freak coming to get him, probably Looby. More notes, more notes. So this is me getting carried away with drawing a kind of like Charlie's Angel type characters of female assassins. So this, as you can see, looks like I was kind of like losing it a bit. So I went a bit over the top on working into his drawings. As you can see, that's kind of his pure version of his. I didn't touch much, and that one there. Otherwise, I went a bit too far. He's saying off with his head. And this guy's saying, and so it began, the machines were fearless with their retribution. Humans hid in bunkers living on insects and condensed milk. Eventually the robots turned on themselves and peace was restored to Earth. I wonder if that was my son's story or not. Here's where I got that logo for the Friends series we're doing at the moment. You know, we did with, who did we do? Moo Moo. We did Jinan the cat. We did Friends with Pirate. Didn't use it for Kendu, but anyway, that's where the logo comes from. And you can see, like, really cute, kind of like clown type person. All right, music's too loud. Yeah, so there's a missile. It's about to like, well, do what missiles do. And this, I didn't really do much to this one, apart from like three-dimensional buddies in there. And then this guy, who I think must be the Joker, or he's, no, it's holding, like he's got the, what's it called? The Doctor Strange, when they go through portals. That's what that one's about. Went a bit over the top with this one. He drew a lovely robot. I got carried away. He's saying, this little thing is saying, my hero. And whoever has designed this robot is saying, you're ruining the carpet. And the robot's saying, well, you should have built me in the garden, which is, and then down here it says, I made a spider for you. More craziness. Quite like that drawing. MC on her arm is a girl I fancied. She had the initials MC. So if you're out there, yeah, there you go. Right, another example of making friends for him. This would have been Alexander's. This one too, who was kind of Looby-ish. And he's thinking blah, 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 blah. Probably because like they're giving him advice, so he's thinking, oh, blah, 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 blah. This one was a kind of mummy thing that he drew. Another mummy here and a mouse fighting him. What else we got? That's pretty mental. So he drew these really fabulous little angels, which look like Looby angels actually. And then I think I drew this, and she's chained up. And it says, figure number 1, Princess Nevermore and the Arcadian Eagle of Justice. Wonder what these smiley faces are going up here. This is called The Return of Zardoz, part of Ugly Comics that we came up with, my son and I. Let's start Ugly Comics. Zardoz is a really amazing movie from the 70s that you should all watch. What else we got here? I'm going to show you some of the Looby comic strip roughs in a minute. So a few of his little bears coming over the hill, and I got way too carried away and just went mental during the city and all these like bear friends. Insane. More bears. And this is probably, these ones are more his that I went over the top with. And what else have we got here? Mental. Need to do a lot more pages in here. I need to get him to scribble, but he's 15 now, so he probably will say no. So that's Hunter S. Thompson and Fidel Castro. And Hunter S. Thompson is saying, why am I in this picture? All right, this is a cute one. So this is my son's version of Deadpool. And he's like saying, Juggernaut, why? Juggernaut's laughing at him, ha 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 ha. And that's the bubble that I use in the Friends series when whoever we're doing a collaboration with, their character is laughing with that bubble. So Juggernaut, why? And Miss America was saying, don't let him get to you, he's a bully. And looks like Deadpool's wearing little polka dot panties. Weird, that's supposed to be Patti Smith. He's saying, marry me. I think that's it. So, oh yeah, a little cute little thing there that probably lines up with something. No, it doesn't. So there you have the book. Now, I'm going to show you some of the bully roughs. So the script, I was going to show you the script, but my printer, as of course, broke. So this is page 1 of the comic strip, the bully comic strip, that Alessia Desio, an Italian artist who did my Thumper comic, my Fair City Thumper comic that we published last year. She did the art for that, apart from the covers. So the first page, Looby dies, of course. He's in a wrestling match and he's unbeaten and comes through the earpiece, and the referee is like, don't let him die, we need him to win. This is the big kind of like wrestler opposition with a big board of wood with nails through it, and then Looby is leaving his body. But I envisioned it as like the whole Looby's whole body leaving, the spirit leaving his body. And also I wanted the wrestler to be much bigger and more threatening. So this was the first rough, this is the second rough. And then I got her to do a third rough as well for this page, where actually there's another one, but have I got it here? Hang on. No, there's a third rough where there's various transitions of Looby's spirit leaving his body, like 5 different positions of him leaving the body. Then page 2, Looby's left his body and he's floating above and he's supposed to be looking down, which I made her do on the second rough. Looby's spirit is looking down at his body in the ring. And he suddenly envisions his mum holding baby Looby, and his parents are kidnapped by Sympatica, who are a tech company who made his mother, who's half rabbit, half human, hybrid. Sympatica designing AI pets that have organic DNA and robotics. So he like panics. He's like, I can't die. I gotta save my parents. So he shoots down back into his body, which actually I got her in a third rough to make it more intense. So like there's more of a like right off the page and he goes back into his own body. This one, he's back in his body and he like wakes up, screams, and it's like an electric charge. And the wrestler's already, his enemy has already jumped off the rope with the wood, with the nails. And the referee slips on some blood, which I got her to redo. His foot slipping in blood there. And what else? The referee falls onto Looby, slips in blood, falls onto Looby. Unfortunately, the wrestler can't stop himself. So he lands on top of the enemy that's on top of Looby, and the audience are freaking out. So anyway, I changed that, and the nails go into the enemy's face, as they should. But I changed it to this. The audience are all like shocked and like seeing the inevitability of the smackdown on the referee. And then they're all like cheering when it happens because people love violence. This, so he's like still unbeaten because basically his opposition, his enemy, has he beat himself. So Looby is unbeaten again. This is him outside the ring in a fur coat with a big champion wrestler's belt. I got to redo that because I saw that frame as a one-pager, but I just got it much bigger. So he's got women kind of hanging off him. Little kid here is looking at him saying my hero, and he's signing autographs. And one of the reasons I wanted Looby to be a wrestler when he escapes from America because his parents have just been kidnapped is I'm trying to decide if, Looby doesn't look human, he looks freaky. So if he's in a normal human world with humans looking like humans, people are going to think he's a freak. So he goes to Mexico and is always wearing the wrestler's mask. So he can, so people think, oh right, he's doesn't actually have that really long nose and those rabbit ears. He's wearing a mask. What else? So he keeps the mask on all the time because I think in Lucha Libre wrestling, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the wrestlers, when they go out in public, are always wearing the mask. And I think their careers end when they're unmasked in the ring. If not, that's my story. So he's basically on this one is like Looby's doing the narrative and he's talking about how he loves the trappings of fame, but as much as he's been distracted by all the goodies that come with fame and money, he's saving up his money to build an army. So here he's talking about how he had to learn to fight. He had to learn to toughen up because he's going to battle with Sympatica, and they've got some serious kind of like what they call serious security. And he's talking about how he had to learn to endure pain. So this frame is like he's being twisted up and his body being broken, and he's kind of like he's kind of enjoying it because he's learning resilience. And then it goes on to talk about how he is building an army. So these are all his like soldiers shooting at practice, but he's got a bazooka and he fires the bazooka. But there wasn't enough action in this, so I got to redraw it. So you got the Looby being pushed back by the force of the bazooka, the missile being shot, and then here the whole firing range explodes. I actually do, and then I thought I'm gonna do another couple of pages because could end it there, but how about Sympatica have realized that he's out there and they want to come and get him. So what else? So this is really rough. It's not how I wanted it. So she's redrawing this at the moment. But this is a Sympatica compound in Mexico, heavily armed guard. The buildings are in the shape of a satanic star, what do you call it? And the boss is seeing the Looby fight on TV. The Looby's mask will be split here, so you can actually see some of his face. And the boss is like, this looks an awful lot like that alien we picked up a few years ago, which is Looby's father. And she's saying, why do you not notice a kid there as well? Why didn't you bring me the kid to experiment on? These guys failed to get like the third alien, which is Looby. And they've realized that Looby is the son of the rabbit hybrid and Looby's dad, the alien. And they want him. And they are gonna maybe get him. And this is where they realize from the mask being split that it is Looby. So there is another page that I didn't print out, which is probably good because otherwise I'd give away the next bit that happens. But what I've set up there is Looby wants to take on Sympatica and bring them down, and Sympatica want to go and get Looby and experiment on him. So what's going to happen? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, I put on my screen here the page, but I probably shouldn't show you, but dun, dun, dun. There you go. All right, well, I've kind of run out of things. I thought this was going to take a lot longer, but it hasn't. I was probably talking too fast. So maybe I can talk more details. What do you think? Yeah, so Sympatica is an idea I had a long time ago with my Fear City NFT series. And the Fear City Genesis collection was 6 different characters. And when Amazon were going to do, a couple of years after the Genesis drop, Amazon were going to do an NFT platform, which they ended up not doing. So I spent about 8 months working on a generative collection of 6 different hybrid animal robots built by this company called Sympatica. I also did so anyway, that's all on my hard drive. It's not a waste of time because I'm gonna do something with it at some point. So I did a Sympatica mock movie poster with an NFT drop. It was an open edition with a company called Audio Galleries, and the guy now works on Rug Radio. I talked to him last year. I did an interview with him that you would have seen, I think. So Sympatica has been in my mind for a long time. It's one of my favorite stories. And I want to bring Fear City and Looby together because the Fear City is 4 years of like different gangs and cops and neighborhoods and environments, and you know, because NFTs didn't kind of keep up what they were supposed to be and kind of crashed. I still work on Fizz City artwork, but you know, I want to bring it into Looby, and I'm trying to work out how to bring it into Looby. And I'm thinking that during Looby's journeys, he'll go to Fizz City to live, because there he can take his mask off, because the city's full of freaks, and the only reason anyone would look at him or give him hassle is to mug him or have a fight. So that's one of the plans. And Sympathetica, yeah, anyway, I have so many stories that I've written down, and I really, like, from doing this, I'm really encouraged to do a lot more, get Alessia to do a lot more pages. So I've got to work, next step is to work out how I'm going to have, what's going to happen. Looby with his army is going to move towards Sympathetica, and the Sympathetica army are going to come to the town that he's fighting in. Are they going to meet in the middle? Maybe it'd be funnier if they missed each other, and when Sympathetica get to the town that he lives in, they'll be like, oh, he's gone. Yeah, I'm thinking of the story right now. And then Looby gets to the Sympathetica compound, and there's no security because they all left to go and find him, something like that. But that's where my mind is going. And what else? So yeah, so Looby's dad, his father was a Naxonian royalty, and he escaped from his royal family, when he was a teenager, and he traveled the universe, and unfortunately for him, crash landed on Earth and started breeding with rats. He became the king of the sewers, and so Looby's dad is half Naxonian, half rat. Got to drink some water. So we're getting into the DNA of Looby at the moment. So Looby is part human, part, well, I don't think the robot is relevant because there's no DNA in a robot. He's part rat, part rabbit, part Naxonian alien, and part human. Did I mention that? Yeah. And that's why when you first saw Looby, it's like, what is he? Is he a rat? Is he a rabbit? He's both, mate. Yes, so I sent Alessia a lot of research. I want this to look way more complex and bigger and kind of look like a high security prison. So when you look at it, you're like, whoa. And this is a lady owns Sympathetica. What else? I think I've run out of things to show you because I showed them to you too quickly. And we still got time to go. But what I could do is maybe have another one later in the week where I can do the extra half an hour that I'm not doing right now. Does that sound all right? I'm just gonna look on screen. So what do you think? Yeah, let me talk about the NFTs that we're going to be doing while I flick through this. So I've been working on a series of NFTs, non-generative. They are going to be, there's going to be themes, there's going to be science fiction, horror, Looby's friends, and something else. and they're going to be collectibles. I'm not sure when we're going to do them, but I'm quite keen to do them at some point. The artwork, I don't know, maybe 30% of the artwork's finished. But even though we're down, even though everybody's like having to suffer the fallout from the tariffs and the bad market right now, we're just getting on with the work. We're planning, and I'm painting, and the admins are doing a lot of still doing the games on Sunday, and we're doing competitions and Reddit. There's like so much social media going on. We got more collaborations coming up. And I think you're going to like the NFTs. I forget where we're going to mint them, but I'm thinking like really small editions with different levels of rarity. And what do you think about that then? This one is like, I don't need to prove myself. Maybe I was like talking to myself and I don't need to prove myself. Probably just feeling I did. And then he's saying it's time for donuts. Time for a donut. He's eating a donut. Right, I think that's all I'm going to do. I mean, that's quite a lot. If I'd slowed it down, I could have done an hour, but I talked about it too fast. And from this, I think, I can take other characters from this, like this guy. I can Loobify, like I did to this drawing that we have Looby now. I can do the same thing with this guy. Any number of options. And this one, he's good. I like to do him. There it is, the legendary book of Looby's origin, separate to his biological origins. All right, because I only did half an hour. I'm going to do another 30 minutes of a live stream to make up for it later in the week or next week. How does that sound? I don't want to, I don't want to disappoint anyone. Anyway, God bless you all. Comic strips coming soon. I think Lesia is getting on with the ink now. She's pretty much, she's done with the roughs and she's doing the black and white inking. Then I'm going to colour them up. I got a guy that's going to do the speech bubbles, and Bob's your uncle. We'll be releasing different pages at different milestones. So, bless you all. I will talk to you soon. We've got a lot going on. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. Jewelry. So this is the Looby razor blade. And because Looby's nose is so long, it goes onto the back of the blade. See that? With the logo. This is made silver, and it was made by a company called ARQX. Check them out. They're selling them online. Beautiful. Looby does everything, and we're going to do a lot more in the future. When the markets go up, we're going to be... I can't promise stuff, but we got big plans, and stay with us. Bless you. Bye.